right. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh. Angie and I are here. We are so excited about this episode. So, how this came to be is there's this concept out there called a reverse interview. And we have guests on our podcast all the time,
Yeah,
but we never actually get to be a guest on our own podcast.
exactly.
So, Angie and I are here, and we have kind of invented this concept, even though I'm sure it's been done before.
Oh
Nothing is
yeah.
original, where we're going to interview each other and we're going to go back and forth asking each other questions. And we did very minimal review. So we're not being totally blindsided, but we also haven't really thought of our answers ahead of time so
Right.
that the questions can really come
Naturally.
like yes,
Yeah.
naturally, organically, unscripted. So we
Right.
might be spilling a little bit of tea. This is going to be super fun. Angie, is there anything else you want to share about like managing expectations on this episode?
Oh man. We're it's gonna be very off the riff, and I hope that some of it is helpful and valuable, but a lot of this is just probably gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is going to be real, like just business behind the scenes
Right.
conversation. Angie and I talk about business all day, every day, but
Every
we
day.
never slow down to reflect on any of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So this is kind of
Right.
special.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask Angie a question first,
Okay.
and then she's gonna answer, and then she's gonna ask me a question. And I guess if we want to go a little deeper, maybe we can, but we'll try to keep it concise. Okay.
Okay.
So this is my first question for my business bestie. This might be my favorite question on the list.
Okay.
So you and I have been in business together for over a decade. I
Yeah.
think 13
13 years
years.
maybe? Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to tell one of your favorite stories of Liz and Angie 1.0.
Oh, 1.0. Ooh, what are we now? What point oh are we at now? That's fun.
If we did years, we'd be
13?
13.0.
Okay. God. 1.0. Okay, okay, okay. I mean, my first like very vivid, I have a horrible memory. My first very vivid memory is when I think I messaged you. Like we had met before, but I messaged you and I was like, "Hey, do you want to just like put a, solicitation out there for some models and go to the beach and practice our photography, at like
Yeah,
golden hour?" And I don't think had we met at that point, or had we met
we
way
had met, but
at the beginning?
I don't think we had actually hung out.
No, it was
No.
totally like off the wall. I'm like, like I got into photography, yes, because I love photography, I love all that, but I love being in community. Like if I could just join something where other people are doing it. And I was like, okay, this is pretty lonely doing this by myself. I met this cool girl in Virginia Beach. Like maybe we could just meet up. And so I just randomly messaged you and you said yes. And I was like, okay. And we just like photographed these girls on the beach.
But what I remember being a little bit funny about that is like we had this like theme of trash the dress. I think you never actually said this, but for some reason I had in my mind that these women were going to be in like white dresses or wedding dresses, but they were in like normal TJ Maxx dresses.
Yeah, I think I told them we're doing trash the dress, but I,
Yeah.
I don't think I gave them enough details on what that meant. It was supposed to be like a white dress or like an old like wedding gown or something. At least just a white dress. And they literally came with like Target dresses, TJ Maxx dresses, and we freaking rocked it. Like we
We
put
did.
them in the ocean. They were like going underwater and it still looked really, really cool. It was
Yes.
fun.
And I mean, this was like kind of a big milestone for us because we were so new at this point
Yeah,
that we were willing to do anything to build our portfolios and
yeah.
to meet new people and to network. And if you think about it, three photographers, three models. Back
Hmm.
then, the algorithm worked in our favor, just tagging people.
Right.
And, we were all able to grow and gain something from that. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I feel like the images were great and just the practice. Like I think we were there at Golden Hour. So like working with our light and shutter speed and all of that. When I think of like Liz and Angie 1.0, like right now at 13.0, it's business, it's finances, it's offers, it's services, things like that. 1.0 was like aperture, shutter speed, ISO,
yes.
posing, like totally different. And we were just like so like passionate about like getting better, making connections. And even though that was so long ago, I miss the simplicity of it
The
all. Like,
simplicity of just getting
yeah,
better at a skill.
yeah,
Now we're juggling all the things.
all the things. all the things. Now, like people ask me about like camera technical stuff, and I'm like, oh, honey, like I just give me a minute. Let me send you a voice message. Like I can walk you through all that in a second. Ask me something harder, okay? Like,
Yeah.
ask me something harder.
Seriously, oh my gosh, I know. But
I
those
love
were
it.
the
I love
days,
it.
like so fun and
Yeah.
exciting. I always tell people like the beginning of your business is so magical.
Mhm. It is. It is. And we have to keep the magic going. I know that things can get kind of stale.
Yeah.
I think that's why I love to like just think of like new ways to help people because I'm like, ooh, I can help this person. I'm really good at this. And maybe I can, improve this skill. Like I'm always trying to like infuse the magic back into my business because it can be
Yes.
so fun. Okay, so my question is for you. That's next is if someone handed you a fully built out, wildly successful, thriving business, what would your like dream business be right now?
So I have this crazy dream for the messy success side of my
Yeah.
brand. The podcast is called the Messy Success Podcast. And then we have like a baby, like e-commerce messy success
Mm-hmm.
products. But I have this dream of having an actual
Right.
building, like an actual physical
Yeah.
space. Um, and when people Google like how to start a business in Hampton Roads, it takes them directly to my
Yeah.
facility instead of just like downtown. Because there's really nothing if you Google that. There's really not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
information. But I have a receptionist, like a whole
Ooh.
team that is basically like, here's what you need to do to start your business. And then there's all this like cool business supplies and e-commerce in the lobby and like notebooks and that thrives online as
Yeah.
well. And then obviously there's like the whole like coaching side of the
I love that.
business. So that's like the made up one, but I feel like this question might be directed towards like a business that already exists. So I guess to kind of go in both directions, like an e-commerce business that is thriving. I mean, it's really hard to make it in like the paper products. Like if you think about
Yeah.
Simplified Planner, Happy Planner, but
Mm-hmm.
I really would love this like brand that's for kind of like the messy type B creative, messy
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've done so much. I mean, in 13 years, like you were the queen of like the local networking, event hosting, business building, all of that. Like you said, I can just see somebody like Googling your name or Googling how to build a business, in our area and just being like, oh, I can just drive up there and like talk to someone and get
Yes.
what I need. Like, I love that because when you think about something like that, you think of these big like chapters, like the, what are they called? Like in different like chamber of commerce and
Yes.
business building things like that. And sometimes those are just so fluffy.
Yeah.
They're
And
just
like
so
not really
fluffy.
that helpful. It's like
Yeah, I
here's
know, I know.
here's how you get a business license, but no one's actually telling you how to market or helping
Exactly.
you build your business.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I can just Google how to get a business license in my city. Like I need more than that. And so
Yeah.
and people who are just starting businesses, that's probably what they're most focused on. And it's like for them to find you, they would see there's so much more than just getting a business license.
Yes, yes. And
So
it's like
I love
it could be a whole center. It could have like a teenage, wing that's like helping teens like start businesses. I
that.
mean,
Right.
I know that like this is what I want to do with my life. It's just kind
Yeah.
of, I would love to have like investors like, here, it's already working. Just
Uh-huh.
like
Right.
continue with your big vision.
Exactly. Exactly. Like it's a business in a box. Here you go. Just take it and move forward with it. Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
I
Thank you.
know. And especially because I'm like, I don't know that that's something that really has proof of concept, but
Yeah.
it feels kind of fail proof to me
Hmm.
if you can master being like the place that people go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, such a good question.
Yay.
Okay, that was such a fun question. Now I have my next
Yay.
question for you.
Okay.
All right. In the past 13 years, what would you say has been your best business investment?
My best business investment. My mind goes to courses, mentorship, events, retreats, things like that. But if I could pick one, and it's perfect that you asked me this because we did this together. When you and I went to Promise Tangeman's event, it was basically Promise Tangeman creates website templates. It used to be for Show It, now it's for Squarespace. So if you have a Squarespace, check her out. This was for Show It. And this was a big investment, I think, for both of us. I think it was like
At the
fifteen, sixteen
time,
hundred
yes.
dollars At the
Yeah.
time, I was like, oh my gosh, because it was an in-person 2-day event at her home. And she was there. Her team of web designers were there. She had the Show It team. So Todd and like all the people at Show It come to her house for 2 days. And what you do is you basically pick a template off of her website. And when you go there, the goal is to launch that website in 2 days. So our
Yeah.
homework was to do, copy for the about page, landing page, contact page, things like that. And then when we get there, we customize the colors. Like we basically launch a website in 2 days. One, I feel like this was a really great investment because this was probably the most I've invested in my business beyond equipment. Like I was just like, oh, like I can get a camera, I can get a lens. It took me a while to be like, I can actually drop $1,600 for this event, plus the flight, plus the, rental car, plus the hotel. Like it was a lot for us at the time.
Yeah.
But we knew like the transformation is in the transaction. Like we
Yes.
knew as soon as we did this, it would level up because I think a WordPress or like a Wix or a Zenfolio
Oh,
website before.
yeah.
What kind of website did you have before we went to Show It?
I feel like, were we not on Show It at all?
No, we were not. Yeah,
Oh,
my website was janky. And so already like that transaction, I was like, oh, I'm about to have this amazing drag and drop Show It website. And just like it's when you ask like what was like the best investment, like it was such a ripple effect. One, because it helped me to show up and like really pour into my business. Two, like switching to Show It, by far one of the best investments.
oh,
of my
100%.
business,
I'm
by
like, I don't
far.
even know if I must have been on Zenfolio. That was
I
all. I
think we
think,
were both on Zenfolio. Yeah. And now we're like whipping up landing pages and sales pages and blog posts in like seconds. We're training other people to do it. Like that whole shift from a very inexpensive, like one-dimensional website to this.
yeah,
And it wasn't even just the website, like the whole experience was so transformational. Like they had music and food, and she did like one-on-one, like 15-minute coaching with each of us. And I feel like that even created a ripple effect into my own in-person events. Cause now I'm like,
yeah,
I know what it feels like to step into like this amazing experience, this next level. Like it really is high energy. And like it's helped me to make sure that my retreats give that same like amazing fun, like transformational energy. So I feel like I always tell her like, girl, like your business, what you did for us changed my
yes,
business. So thank you.
yes. It really, I mean, just the energy in the room was expansive. Having
Yeah.
her, like, we really admired her so much.
Yes. Yes.
And the CEO of Show It was there. So
Yeah.
there was really and it was a small event. There was maybe like 10 of
10
us.
people,
Yeah.
maybe. Right. Mm-hmm.
So it really was a very expansive room. Yeah, that was a good one. I'm
Absolutely.
so glad you brought that one up because that's one that's like always in the back of my mind, like kind of tucked away.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always tell her like, you need to have something in person again, just because you're
Yeah,
like such a good time. You're such a
yeah.
vibe.
She is a vibe, and her
Ah,
house was a vibe.
I know. I know. Okay,
That's so good.
so my next question for you is what would your perfect workday look like and your perfect weekend?
Ooh, okay, I love this. I do actually prefer to take weekends off, but my perfect, I'm going to reverse. My
Yeah.
perfect weekend has like this balance of family time,
Yeah.
productivity,
Mhm.
and rest. So
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
like in a perfect world, it's like Saturday morning, we're going out and doing something as a family.
Yeah.
And then we can come back and the kids are tired and Mark and I can handle whatever house
House
things need
stuff.
to be
Yeah.
done. And
Mhm.
then Sundays, I really like kind of quiet, prep for
Mhm.
the week, mentally prepare for the week,
Yeah.
read my book, go to my 4 o'clock yoga.
Yeah.
So it's like this mix of like, I want one kind of social thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
I want time and space to get something done around the house that I haven't touched
Mhm.
during the week. And
Mhm.
then that like prepare for the week. And then
That's
my
perfect.
perfect work day is really just working while my kids are at school.
Mhm.
That like 9 to 3 kind of
Yeah.
time frame is my sweet spot.
Yeah.
And I've just now started getting up early. So I'm starting to do like my walks and my workouts in the morning.
Yes, I love seeing your early
Yeah.
morning walks. I'm like, "Go girl." I
It
wish
helps
I
me
could
with
get
the
up that early.
accountability. I'm like, they need to know I'm still doing it.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
But I'm like,
that.
there's really nothing. I mean, in a perfect world, I like to exercise between ending work and starting family stuff. But now that my
Mhm.
kids are bigger and doing more sports and more activities, it's like that world is just not as realistic for me, but I've been
Yeah.
loving getting up in the morning.
Yeah.
But I'm super productive from like 9 to 12. That's
Good.
when I
Good.
like to have
Good.
the bulk of my meetings.
Hmm.
And then after lunch is when I kind of like, okay, let's just tie up all the loose ends and,
Yeah.
do a little bit of creative work. But I do not like to work like long hours for sure.
Yeah, me neither. I feel like I think you said what, 9 to 3 is like your sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's good. And the early mornings, like it's something about a quiet house and just feeling like you have complete control over that time frame. Because
Yes.
I feel like during the day, you're thinking about work and business and doctor's appointments and scheduling something. In the evening, it's family time. In the morning, it's like I feel the most me in the morning.
There's a level of focus, and I can really sit down in the mornings and just like almost close my eyes, and I know the highest priorities for the day,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
If I'm
Hmm.
rolling out of bed and I'm signing into my computer, then all these things are coming at me, and it's like I don't even know what my
Right.
top priority is. But if I decide that top
Yeah.
priority before I sit down, it's like such a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I swear when I get up early, but I do like I drink my tea, I do my devotional, things like that. If I accidentally sleep in and my kids wake me up,
Oh,
oh.
it's just not a great feeling. And I notice like well, I used to love slow mornings,
Uh-huh.
but slow manifests more slow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I feel like now my mornings are still slow, but they're
Mhm.
slow in a different way. It's
Yeah.
almost like I'm extending the day and I have this special time.
Yeah. Because time flies. So I'm like, if I could create more hours in my day, like I'll do it. So I love
And you
that.
know what really helped me is like it's actually a myth that you can't get too much sleep. Like I
Hmm.
used to think like, oh my God, if I sleep 10 hours a night, I'll be more beautiful and I'll live longer. But it's like it's actually like not true. Like you can get
Hmm.
too much sleep that kind of creates like this like sluggish feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
Yeah.
see that. I can see
So
that.
good. Okay, I have a good one for you.
Okay.
All right, tell me your most uncomfortable learning lesson. Like the one that kind of makes your skin crawl to think about.
Oh, okay. So why does everything go back to events? So I went to an in-person event. It was a podcaster that I had listened to, and she was hosting an in-person event. And I just loved her podcast. I loved her way of thinking. And I think that just kind of drew me into like, let me invest in whatever this is. There was no real, even when I think back to like, as an educator, I think back to like her sales page, like there was no real deliverable. It was just like, come stay in this house with me and like 7 other women entrepreneurs. And I was like, okay, like that sounds fun. I paid a lot of money. It was in Sonoma, California. It's very expensive over there. And I think the first night I was like, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. Like the people, the women who were there, they were great, but there was no niche at all. There was no niche
Mm,
in what we were doing, what our outcome was, what our thoughts and belief system was. It was just 7 totally random women doing random things. And I remember the first night I went to my room, we all stayed at like a little Airbnb. It really was an Airbnb. It was like a bed and breakfast, which was actually pretty
mm,
cool because that was my first time staying in a bed and breakfast. And I just remember in that night, I remember I think I like cried in the bed, and I was like, why did I do? So I was like, I think I had like a little baby at home. I think Koa was really small,
yeah.
and I just remembered like, wow, I have 2 more days of this uncomfortability of like I could be at home with my baby. I could be at home working on my business. Like, why did I do this? And I try to take a learning lesson out of every mistake or failure or whatever. And I think my learning lesson for that event was when I'm hosting things, I need to be clear about
Mm,
who this is for, what we're going to be doing, what is the end result, because I would hate for someone to come to my event and cry in the bed on the first night,
yeah.
thinking like what a waste of money or what a waste of time or something like that. And so I don't regret it because, since then I've hosted in-person events and things like that. And I feel so much more in alignment with like, who am I helping? What am I doing? What's the transformation? But man, it was uncomfortable. And I feel like I voxed you on the way home
Yeah.
crying. I feel like I sent you like a 15-minute vox.
Yeah, and you were like, this was before we had done anything online, like
Yeah.
really expanded our business. Like
And
we
I
were
think that's
still,
why I was so
yeah,
shook, because I was like, this is the first, like, we were taking online courses and things like that. This is the first time I was like, I'm going to go to like a women's like business retreat for blah, 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 blah. And I like tried to expand myself. And I remember thinking, like, what, maybe I wasn't supposed to do that.
yeah,
But it was, yeah, I remember voxing you and I was like, I remember it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like taking an Uber or something to the airport and I was just like word vomiting everything. I don't remember the exact words. I just remember I was like so disappointed by the experience, so disappointed about the money that I invested.
yeah.
But I don't regret it because it helped me to see the other side of what events should be.
Well, yeah, and it all boils down to managing expectations, right? Like,
Yeah.
had she properly managed expectations, you wouldn't have felt that way, or you
Yeah.
wouldn't have made the decision to go.
Yeah,
But
and I should have managed my own, like, I should have done a better job of seeing if this was really right for me.
yeah,
Like, I think I was just like, oh, she's like super successful and she can help me do this, and she's super cool and blah blah blah. Like, I think I could have really sat and made a better business decision
mm,
and not just went off of like, I just want to go have a good time,
yeah.
and
That filter does improve over time.
yeah.
You make enough questionable investments, and that filter gets a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah. I actually looked her up. I'm not going to say her name, but I looked her up a couple months ago. Cuz I'm like, I always do that. Like, even with our local people
Yeah.
that we used to hang with, I'm like, what do
What
they
are they
do
doing?
now?
What are
What
they
is
up
her
to?
business doing now? Yeah, yeah, and it doesn't really look like she's doing anything. So I'm
Yeah.
like, man, like, what a change. What a
What
change.
a
So interesting.
change. What a change. But
Yeah.
those are all important lessons.
So, my question is, if you could go back and talk to the version of yourself who just decided to start the business. So, the Liz 1.0, as we call
Uh-huh.
her, what would you say to her knowing what you know now as Liz 13.0?
Oh my gosh, this is going to like make me emotional, but I think just that it's so much better than you even thought it could be.
Yeah.
And that nothing is wrong or broken. It's all like you're always getting the lessons, right? Like
Mhm.
you're always
Mhm.
getting the lessons that get you to the next phase.
Right.
And I don't think, even though right now it's like I'm sitting in this want more, desire more sales, bigger program, better equipment, like we're always sitting in that. But I think if I was really
Yeah.
sitting in her shoes, what I have now is like her dream, but better.
Yeah.
Like I remember like exactly where I was sitting, where I was convinced nobody would pay me $100 a month for business coaching.
Mm.
And it
Mhm.
was true
Yeah.
because I had
Yeah.
sent out a survey and people had said that was too much money. So the fact that I have like 4x that
Yeah.
and what people are paying me monthly, I mean, it's
Right.
just crazy. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. Like
Incredible.
I had to like become somebody different to be able to, see myself as capable. But I remember being so convinced that it wasn't possible. So I would tell her that it's all possible, even better than you can
Yeah.
imagine.
Better than you can imagine. Yes, I
Isn't
love it.
that
I
crazy?
think about us on the beach shooting those girls in the dresses shoot. And can you just imagine yourself being where you are now? Like helping
Oh
other
my
people
gosh.
to build their businesses. And we're sitting there trying to
And
figure out how to charge for a session or how to work our camera.
sweating and carrying all that gear every Saturday,
Yes.
and like how much we
Yep.
loved it. We
Yep.
truly loved it. But like to know that there's a world where I can make just as much money and not work on the weekends. It's
Yeah.
so good.
I wish
Life
we
is
could go
so
back
good.
and like shake those 1.0s and be like, it's gonna be great.
Yes. Yes. Because I mean, we're still guilty of it every year. We're like, this is our year. And it's like, we've already, every
Yep.
year has been our year. You know,
Yeah.
it's just we have to have
Yeah.
that
It
perspective.
only gets better.
What is your most proud moment, or what would you look back and say has been your biggest moment?
I think my biggest moment, I had went to the Show It conference, and I actually was there hosting a styled shoot, which was
Ah,
really really exciting because I don't think I'd been to a Show It conference before. So Show It, as we talked about, is the web platform, um, hosting. They used to have an annual conference every fall,
I think they do. I think they just
and
changed the name.
right now it's for brand designers. It started for
Mm,
photographers for maybe like a decade, and then it was to
yeah.
everybody. Now it's just to brand designers. 2021, they had their fall event, and I was there as, I was hosting a styled shoot. So I was considered a speaker. I thought that was just like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. Like coming from Angie, who was like, just pivoted her website to show it, like, in 2016. I'm like, I can't believe I'm like a speaker now at their conference.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was the year that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I think I had bought my ticket before I was diagnosed. So I was diagnosed in early February. I think I'd already bought the ticket. And I remember I was like, I'm going to this freaking conference. Like, I don't know what this year looks like as far as surgeries, treatments, all of that, but I'm a Show It conference speaker. I am going to this freaking conference.
Absolutely. I
And
remember
so I
that.
had surgeries in like February, March. I started chemo in April, had to do chemo for 6 months. And I was literally looking at the calendar with my doctor, and I was like, I need everything to stop by November because I'm going to Arizona for an event that I'm a speaker at. So I need you to rush this chemo. I need you to rush this 6 weeks of radiation. And I started radiation in like September, October, and it was going to span through November. And I told my doctor, I was like, I got to be done. I got to be done. I'm coming every day on the weekends. And like radiation literally just like, they radiate basically your breast. So starting from like your neck to like your lower breast. And it was like every day I was getting burnt, like my whole side of my chest and my neck was like disgusting. It was just literally looked like freaking Freddy Krueger or something. Like it was just so disgusting. And I was like, I'm going to this event. I don't care. I'm going to this event. And we had finished the last radiation treatment like 24 to 48 hours before the Show It event. Like I
Oh
was
my
like, I
gosh.
did it. I was able to finish it. And I went, I hosted my styled shoot. And on the last night, they had this really fancy banquet. You're supposed to dress up and everything. And they give like awards and things like that. Like Show It Designer of the Year, where they like highlight the best like website template designer. And then I'd never been here before. They had something called a Show A Tier of the Year. Like Show A Tier of the Year. Like the number one award,
For like the
mind
whole
you, for the
community.
tier. Yeah, the whole community. And they're like on stage talking about, this woman is such a warrior and this and that. And I'm in the audience like, yeah, like who is this girl? Like that's awesome. Like, and I'm like, this is so cool for her. And they were like, Angie McPherson. And I was like, what? Like I was like sobbing. I was like, me, like I'm like the Show A Tear. I'm like, oh, I was like so proud. And I remember like Todd was up there. This is the same Todd who was
Yeah.
at the Promise Tangements event over my shoulder troubleshooting my website. Like he handed me this award and they gave me hugs. They even shipped me a canvas of me like getting the award, and I have it up in my office. But it was just such a proud moment for me because I know how much it took me to even get there to that event. And
Yeah.
just to be like recognized is just something, is you can't even describe it. To be recognized for showing up, to putting yourself out there, to helping people. Like during that year, I was still doing my courses. I was still doing photo shoots. I was still doing lives. Like no matter how bad I felt, no matter how ugly I felt, like I was still showing up. And to have them just call me like the Show A Tier of the Year, like hands down, like proudest moment
Oh my
ever.
gosh. I
Ever.
remember it too. I remember like feeling so like a void that I couldn't be there to like see it all
Oh.
happen. I was like, please put me in your suitcase. I'll be your assistant.
I was just like so shocked. I'm literally like listening to this talk about this girl who's like such a warrior, and I was like,
You had no
man,
inkling.
no idea. Like I didn't know what this award was. Like I'd never been to this event before, and I was just like, oh my god. And I got like a standing ovation. Literally, like
Oh,
it's like seared into my mind. Like on my deathbed, when I think about those final like moments throughout my life, like that's gonna
yeah.
be one of them.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
All right.
I was actually hoping that's the story you would tell with that question. Oh, so good.
Well, that was a good question. Okay, so I'm going to ask you next.
Okay.
So, what's one belief or mindset that you had to let go of in order to grow your business to where it is now?
Mm. This one, I feel like it still rears its ugly head sometimes, but that, you have to quote unquote work really hard
Mm,
to make
mm,
lots of money.
mm-hmm.
And if you look at the most successful people, they're not actually working hard, right? And then there's
Exactly.
the working class, you have moms that work three jobs
Mm-hmm.
that are working themselves to death
Yeah.
that are still barely making enough money,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, we are all raised and society teaches us that you have to work hard to get the result.
Right.
And I feel like there's just been this constant unlearning when I
Mm-hmm.
do, even just on my peer led mastermind call last week. I was like, what's the problem behind the problem? And I kind of told
Yeah.
them a goal I was working towards. And then I started to talk about, I said, I know there's a problem deeper than the problem. And what came out of my mouth was, but I don't want to stay up late at night to build
Mm-hmm.
that. And I remember my peer saying, I don't stay up late at night. Who in the world is saying that you have to stay
Right.
up late? And I was like, oh my God, it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think I've worked through it and then it's still there because I'm getting this like, oh, well, I'm lazy if I'm not working hard or if I'm not staying up late at night to achieve a goal,
Mm-hmm.
then like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to achieve it or whatever.
I
So,
struggle with that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's like, and that's just one. There's probably, I could list off 10 like
Mm-hmm.
beliefs that I've had to shift and like completely go in feed a different future, right? That I
Right.
want. But that's probably been the biggest one because I'm like technically it still pops up. But
Right.
I see so much evidence that I don't actually have to work hard. Like last weekend,
Exactly.
last weekend I did nothing. I read my fantasy book all weekend and then I got a sale first thing Monday morning,
Ooh,
right?
nice.
Because we're
Nice.
planting seeds. And as long as we're
Mm-hmm.
planting those seeds, we don't have to work hard. It's like if we want to make,
Right.
thousands of dollars tomorrow that wasn't accounted for or planned for, sure, we probably are going to have to take some action in the next 24 hours.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But if we're planting our seeds now, that's when the ease comes over
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
I could talk about that stuff all day.
No, that's so good because even 13 years into business, we still have those thoughts of hustle, 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 let's do this and thinking that's tied to a certain dollar amount, but it really isn't. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Cause I mean, in our day to day, it's like I really do feel the same. Like I really do
Hmm.
feel like I'm still trying to build something. I'm still so new. I'm still learning. But
Right.
when we have that moment of reflection, like you asking me about my, 1.0 self, it's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, there's been so much growth. Like I've
Yeah.
stepped into a whole new identity, but it doesn't,
Hmm.
it doesn't feel different.
Right.
And I
Right.
remember James, our coach, telling us that over and over and over. Like it doesn't feel different. You just grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, I have my last one for you,
Okay.
and I really like this question. Um, what future moment would have you saying, I've made it?
Okay. Future moment. I feel like if I were to take a 1 year sabbatical, like
Mm,
I would love to take a year off.
yeah.
And when I did my 30-day sabbatical, and this is why I answer that because when I did my 30-day sabbatical a couple of years ago with my kids in Orange County, California, so much growth came from that. And it
Oh,
came from, like you just said, working less. It literally was like, I didn't mean for it to be a test, but I felt like I was tested because I was like, okay, I need to create a runway for myself where I can be away for a month, not have to shoot,
mhm.
not have to teach, not have to do anything. The bills are still going to get paid and I'm going to be fine. And it was such a test to come up with new fun, offers and things and to set myself up for that. And then during that 30 days, like so much rest, the best quality time with my kids. My husband flew out, my parents flew out, my sister came over. Like it was just such like that 30-day container. It really felt like back in the summers between high school or college where you had
Yeah.
really no responsibilities. And I find when I put myself in those situations, whether it's a day off, a weekend off, or whatever, my mind just it unlocks. And I feel like those 30 days, I had so much growth after. I mean, I had launched a group coaching program after. I was booking shoots all around the country after. I was doing a ton of speaking engagements after. I feel like that was really a launch pad into a new version, a new
Yeah.
point oh of me. And I'm like, if I could do that with 30 days sabbatical, what would happen if I took a year
Oh my God, you should just
sabbatical?
stair step it. So you should just do 3 months next, and then
Uh
six
huh.
months,
Uh
and
huh.
then a year.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about it, at the time that felt really stretchy, but you were literally just
Mhm.
living into a future that you wanted.
Yes. Yes. And even just, I talk about the transformation is in the transaction. When we talk about an investment, and thankfully I wrote this whole thing off, on
Yes.
my taxes, but to rent a house in the number one most expensive city in the country for 30 days, it was a stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have picked any city, and I picked the most expensive city in California, but it was perfect because Disneyland's there. My sister lived in LA. We've got the beach. We went to San Diego. There were so many things. And just it put me in a different identity. It put me in
Yes.
the identity of I'm a business owner who can save and invest in the right things to make these situations happen. This is not going to bankrupt me.
Yeah.
This is not going to close my business. This is only going to launch me into a different way of being. And it really, really did. And so I like the idea of like, maybe I'll do a quarter next
Yeah.
time, maybe I'll do 6 months, but I'd love to get to a year. I don't know what that would take, but I think it'd be fun. And this is just for anyone who's just like thinking about doing a sabbatical, whether it's like a week or a couple weeks or a month. Like, I swear it can transform you. Do it. Like, I don't care if you have to hustle your butt off beforehand to get the funds to do it.
I love it.
Just try it, even if it's just a week. And be intentional about what that time is. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to take 30 days off and do nothing. Like, I knew I wanted a lot of time with my kids. I knew that I wanted to be outside. I want to be touching grass, touching sand,
Yeah.
connecting with people. And so be very intentional about the time that you do take off.
But it's so good because I do think there's this like misconception of like, oh, well, in order to do that, I got to have like $1 million just like sitting in the bank. And it's like,
Right.
no, that your word there is intentional. You
Yeah. Hmm.
intentionally
Yeah.
planned it and then you reverse engineered
Exactly.
the financial choices.
Yeah.
Like you didn't just pull this out of your butt. It was like, no,
Exactly.
I'm going to do this in 6 months. Here's what I need to do to make it possible.
Exactly.
And you
Exactly.
prioritized it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
If we
sure.
wait until the money's just sitting there, like it's not going to happen. We have to
Exactly.
intentionally make things happen.
Yeah. You got to get ahead of it. You got to be leading the train, not just being like
Yeah.
pulled by
Yeah.
things.
And like your mind was made up. It wasn't about like, oh my God, if I hit this milestone, then I'll do it. It's like, no, my mind's made up. I'm doing this. It's
Yeah.
important to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So good.
Okay. So is this my last question for you?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yes. Okay. What is something about your business or your brand that you are most proud of, but you don't talk about it enough?
Oh, I would definitely say something to do with the ripple effect, not necessarily just like my students coming to me with like reviews. I definitely
Mhm.
don't share reviews and case studies nearly as much as I should, but there's something
Okay. Yeah.
about when I get to see the people that they help, especially because I do so much work locally, I see that a lot.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like I go to their event just as a normal guest, and then I look around the room and I see the person that I've coached then helping their people in a
Yeah.
way that wouldn't have happened had we not connected at some point. And that just makes me so proud to like see it
Yeah.
extend beyond just the people that I'm helping. Like I'm helping these
Hmm.
people that are helping more people that are then helping
Yeah.
more people. So it's like anytime I get to bear witness to that ripple effect or that butterfly effect, it's like I feel like I'm done. Like I could die tomorrow and I'm
Yeah.
so happy with the work that I have done.
I love that. It is such a ripple effect. I mean, especially like you said, when you can see it, especially
Yeah.
locally, like even at your events and all of that, like I see all these people like collabing, working together, and I'm like, they wouldn't even have met if Liz
Yes.
wasn't working with so and so, and so it's really cool to see. That's
Yeah. I
awesome.
mean, that was when I two people that met at my event hosted a retreat, and I went to the retreat. And then I got to see women at that retreat that I'd never met have
Oh
these
my
like
gosh, such a
crazy
full circle.
transformations.
Yeah,
And I'm like, this retreat wouldn't have even existed if I
yeah,
hadn't taken a leap to host that event, because that event
yeah,
was super stretchy for me at the time, you know? And it's like,
yeah.
I could literally just like trace back the pieces. And it's not like in a toot my horn way. It's like, it's so much bigger than me. Like those
Liz.
reminders.
Yes, and let that be a lesson to those listening who are sitting in fear, not wanting to offer a specific service or host a specific event. Like, look at the change and transformation you could be making for not only just one person, but the people that that person's going to be transformed by.
Yeah.
Like the ripple effect, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
For
I know.
sure.
It's
What
like we think that our most proud moments are going to be like being published in a magazine, you
Yeah.
know, or winning an award, but
Hmm.
like with your award, it was so much bigger than that. It was
Yeah.
overcoming the
Hmm.
cancer. It was being in a room of
Hmm.
people you had never met before, winning something
Yeah.
you didn't even know existed. You know, it's
Right.
like that bigger than you type feeling,
Yeah.
right? Rather than just
Hmm.
the thing itself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. So good.
So
So
good.
good.
See, who knew?
That
We
was
thought we were
great
going to be
again.
spilling tea, and we're over here like reflecting and having moments.
I know.
I
Nothing
will say
triggered you
though,
today.
going back to question number one, or one of my favorite memories of Angie at Promise's house is tripping in the front door.
I knew this episode would not end without somebody bringing it up. Literally, like I said, and keep in mind, y'all, we thought Promise was so. I mean, we still do. She's so cool, right? Cool hair, cool style, cool business. We get to her beautiful, cool house. She opens the door, and I walk in and I trip, like fumble, stumble, like
You didn't
all
go
the
all the
time.
way down, thank God, but it was a good like skidoo doo doo.
And it was like they were filming, like they were actually filming like people coming in giving her hugs and stuff like that for her own branding and marketing, and I just tumbled. I'm just like, all of this excitement leading up to an embarrassing moment.
Oh my
Okay.
God. You handled it so well though, and I will never let you live it down. It's like forever going to be one of my
Oh,
favorite Angie moments.
hilarious. It's so me. It's so me. Well,
Oh
Liz,
my
this was
God.
awesome. This was so good. I loved the questions you asked. I loved the answers that we pondered on. I feel like this is a
Yeah.
fun episode.
Yeah, and hopefully you guys listening that have podcasts, like think about how you can bring someone on to reverse
Yeah.
interview you, because yeah, I would have never asked myself these questions on the podcast.
Same. Same. It's nice to reflect too. It's nice to see where you come from. Like now
Yeah,
I'm thinking about Angie and Liz 1.0 and I'm like, man, we're killing
we are.
it.
I know. We were ahead of the game. Yeah, I remember us doing like webinars and stuff like that before people were really talking about webinars.
Early. And
Yeah.
let us continue to be ahead of the game.
I hope so. Oh my gosh.
Because the game is moving fast, honey.
It is moving so fast. All right. Well, thank you so much, Fred.
Okay, thanks.